The councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
But I do ask every publisher, every editor, and every newsman in the nation to re-examine his own standards and to recognize the nature of our country's peril. In time of war, the government and the press have customarily joined in an effort based largely on self-discipline to prevent unauthorized disclosures to the enemy. In times of clear and present danger, the courts have held that even the privileged rights of the First Amendment must yield to the public's need for national security. Today, no war has been declared, and however fierce the struggle may be, it may never be declared in the traditional fashion. Our way of life is under attack. Those who make themselves our enemy are advancing around the globe. The survival of our friends is in danger, and yet no war has been declared. No borders have been crossed by marching troops. No missiles have been fired. If the press is awaiting a declaration of war before it imposes the self-discipline of combat conditions, then I can only say that no war ever posed a greater threat to our security. If you are awaiting a finding of clear and present danger, then I can only say that the danger has never been more clear, and its presence has never been more imminent.
It's time to recognize that we've come to a turning point. We're threatened with an economic calamity of tremendous proportions, and the old business-as-usual treatment can't save us. Together, we must chart a different course. We must increase productivity. That means making it possible for industry to modernize and make use of the technology which we ourselves invented. That means putting Americans back to work, and that means, above all, bringing government spending back within government revenues, which is the only way, together with increased productivity, that we can reduce and, yes, eliminate inflation.
The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
Hello and welcome to Inform America. I almost said New Hampshire. Inform America. Today is June 24th, 2020. I'm your host, Rich Merritt, and co-hosting today is Wylene Poliquin. Yeah, it's been a long week so far.
It's been a long week today.
Yeah, before we get started, check out the Boston Broadside newspaper. Check out the nationallibertyalliance.org for educational purposes, and see if you can help financially or with your time. And thirdly, if you're interested in Stand Your Ground, the book that I did that I'm very proud of, you can pick it up by going to the email address that's on the screen, and you'll get this copy. Or you can go through Amazon and get this copy. They had to change the cover. Don't ask me why, because I can't even explain it, but I wanted to at least show it to everybody that it's different. I wanted to talk about conspiracies. A lot of people have been accusing me of being a conspiracy nut. A couple of people have said, don't send me any more conspiracy BS. And I want to clarify a lot of things, because I've been doing this show for over 4 years now. I don't know the exact amount of time, 4 years, 4.5 years. And before that, I was with the National Liberty Alliance. I'm still with the National Liberty Alliance. And my mission is simply to wake people up, to explain to them what's going on in the world so that they can know how to deal with it. If you don't know what a problem is, how can you possibly deal with that problem? You can't. It's impossible. If your car breaks down, what do? Get a, what do you call those, one of these things? A toilet plunger. Plumber's helper, that's the word I was looking for. I mean, You got to know what's wrong. You could sit there all day plunging your engine with the thing. It's not going to help any. Well, it's no different with what's going on in your life. And the first thing I wanted to start off with, Wylene, is the straw man, I believe, is what we put up there?
Yes.
Okay. That's first and foremost, and it's also called ens legis. And before you change the channel, it's not a conspiracy, it's a fact that happened to you and to me and to Wylene. It's happened to all of us. The day you were born, they handed your mother papers to sign. Right after she just got through delivering it, she was probably awake for a day or two, with the labor pains and all that other stuff, the delivery. So it was nice and fresh in her mind. Here, sign this. Oh, okay, she's all groggy and tired, so she signs the thing. Anyway, she just signed you, or us, over to the state. In the eyes of the state, not your eyes or mine, in the eyes of the state. That's how they perceive it. You're a straw man, you're an ens legis, and if you look up the definition of the word person, I did this 1,000 times, you'll see it's an artificial person or corporation. You are a corporation. That's why your name appears in all block capital letters. All capital letters. You're a corporation. You're not. And the other definition of a person is a human being in flesh and body. In body and flesh, excuse me. Body and soul, I believe it is. I'm sorry. Anyway, they don't perceive you as that person. They perceive you as the corporation. And that's how they deal with you your whole life. So when a judge will say, he holds up a piece of paper in court and says, is this you named on here? Or are you the person named on here? And you go, yep. Because you're admitting to the name that appears up here. Only it's not you. It's in all capital letters. It's a corporate fiction. It's not you. But you just admitted to it. So when you said yeah, you gave him jurisdiction over you. So when you say, oh, that's a conspiracy, keep thinking that. And when Seattle moves to your neighborhood, keep thinking it. Keep thinking it. It's all a conspiracy. It's all, Bugs Bunny. It's not real. It's not real. It's all Bugs Bunny make-believe. And so is the garbage that's going on in Seattle, where people are getting killed because they took over the city. None of it's real.
Right.
What do we have for the second thing,
The Second
Wylene?
Amendment.
The Second Amendment, if we could have it up on the screen, please. I put up the Second Amendment hopefully for good reason, but in the state it says the people have the right to protect themselves, their family, their property, and the state. That's what it says. The people ratified the Constitution and gave it to the state and said, don't infringe upon the Bill of Rights. Don't infringe upon. It's real simple. In the United States Constitution, it says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma. They're talking about the militia. Then they go on to say, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. In plain language, that means you can do nothing to it. Nothing. An infringement is an encroachment. You can't move on it at all. The people said that. But if you continue to think that you're a corporate citizen and that the United States Incorporated dictates to you, oh yeah, you can't have bump stocks, you can't have semi-automatic rifles, you can't have high-velocity magazines. Bull garbage. That's not what the law says. The law says you don't infringe upon it. And I'm not a corporate citizen. I'm a human being in body and soul. Wylene, you are too, correct?
That's what I am, last I knew.
That's what we all think we are, but the government thinks differently of you. And until you understand that you're going to walk into there, because they've done this skillfully over the past 100 years. They've just gradually taken it over, and you say, well, why would anybody do that? Because the people that are running this planet want to run this entire planet their way without you and me. Why do you think these things are going on across this country? Anyway, that's the Second Amendment, and when I talk about a conspiracy, you have to understand the relationship of the straw man and you, the human being. If you don't understand that, What are they doing to you? Do you know? Because if you don't know, then you're ignorant. And if you're ignorant, you'll never fix the problem. Never. You can change your political status. I've heard people say that when you've got an organized crime ring that operates the planet, they don't care if you correct your political status or not. They don't care if you're alive or dead. What they care about is running the resources of the globe and doing it without you and I. It's a simple matter.
Right.
Anyway, what's the next one? I'll move on to the...
Article 100, Part 2nd.
All right, Article 100. I wanted to put that in there because people have this notion, and it's written right here. Article 100, by the way, is in the state constitution. I don't want to confuse people. The state of New Hampshire Constitution. Article 100 is where it's the amendment process has to be utilized to change the law, which is the Constitution. That's the only way you can change. Well, I take it back. The only way to change it is the amendment process or a constitutional convention. The legislature in the state of New Hampshire can't change this at all. Not one iota. Show me where it says so in here. And we're going to bring that up next. But right now, the only way to do it is the legislature can bring up an amendment to be put in front of the people in a referendum to be voted on in the November election. If the people vote on it, and you'll see in here that there are amendments. As a matter of fact, it should be up on the screen. The number of times there's amendments to each particular bill.
Right.
That's the process that has to be followed. And when I tell people that, it's like, oh, you're in a conspiracy nut. You don't know what you're talking about. If I don't know what I'm talking about, why are you looking at the language that's on your screen, reading the same thing I'm reading, and disbelieving it? It's right there in black and white, and people say, oh, no, you don't know what you... It's been going like that for 100 years. Yep. It's been wrong for 100 years. When do you want to change it? When it's too late? I'll say it again. When Seattle's in your neighborhood? I want to say Seattle, these Antifa jerks that are out there that are causing nothing but problems. They're trying to take over the country. They're being paid to do it. They don't care about Mr. Floyd's life. A black man was killed. They don't care about that. They care about taking over the country.
It has nothing to do with the race issues.
No. Race issues, as far as I'm concerned, race issues are pretty good. I mean, somebody's
Right. Even
stirring up the hornet's nest.
Even the black people, I don't know if you're watching all the videos that even black people are putting out there. Even they're saying, listen, we're good. We're good. This isn't about blacks, whites, whatever. Let's get the country in good shape. Let's work on that. We're good. Let's put the race, the race issues, on the back burner because we're good. This isn't about blacks and whites.
I was just watching a black guy, and I he's an unknown. It's not like I know the gentleman, but he was on the video, and he says, I bet you didn't hear this, middle-class America. He said there was a white couple, visiting their parents in the cemetery. And a black guy came into the cemetery for whatever. I don't know how the circumstances happened. But the black man killed both of the people that were visiting their parents in the cemetery. Does that mean all black people are killers?
No.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Just like, listen, there are good and bad people on this planet. Unfortunately, the bad people are stirring up the pot and trying to get me to hate you if you're black. Or white or any other color. They just want division. Doesn't matter how.
Right.
And I'm not falling for it. When I meet somebody, I base them on, and I'll use Martin Luther King's, I base it on their character. If you're a good person, I'll like you. If you're not, I won't. I don't give a damn what your color, religion, or anything else is.
Right.
We're all like that. That's the way we pick our friends.
That's the way we're programmed, basically.
Right. I'm not going to go up to somebody and every 5 minutes he punches me in the face and go, geez, you're a nice guy. I mean, it's just the way life is. Right. I'm going to leave it like that.
Right.
But getting back to Article 100, the only way you can change the Constitution, which is the law of the land in New Hampshire, is to put it before the people to vote on. And the only way you can change the United States Constitution, I want to be very clear about this. Read Article 7 in the federal Constitution. where there's an amendment process also, only that has to go to the states because the states put together the United States Constitution. Congress can't change the Constitution. Can't do it. I don't care if they say you can't have bump stocks or you can't have semi-automatics. I'll tell them, hey, well, I'll flip them the bird. How's that? I don't care what they say. The law says differently. Now, if we don't have a law, then you can come tell me about it and we'll deal with it face to face. But other than that, the law says what it says. We're a nation of laws or we're a nation of anarchy.
Right.
I don't know. I want to be a nation of laws. I've followed the law my whole life. I worked in law enforcement, so I want to continue that. Now I want to just touch on this. What is it? Article 5.
41.
Oh, 41?
Yeah, part
Well,
second.
let me do.
What do you want?
I mixed it up then. Let me do Article 5.
Article 5,
please.
part second.
Article 5,
Sorry.
yeah, part second. No, that's my fault. I wanted to do it after Article 100 for a reason.
Oh, sorry.
It clearly
No,
says
that was
in
my
there.
fault.
No, I think I did it wrong.
I think I skipped it.
Oh, okay. Well, Article 5 is the legislature, and it says clearly, but I want to be specific about this. It says the legislature has full power and authority to make orders, laws, statutes, ordinances, directions, and instructions for the state. That's the key word, for the state. Don't substitute any other word. The word state means state. Doesn't mean people, doesn't mean dogs, deers, bears, chipmunks, or anything else. It means the state, the government. So the legislature can make laws for the government to follow and to obey. And the reason we have the 3-tier system, the legislature, judicial, and executive, checks and balances. Checks and balances. It's not for, the legislature can't regulate our behavior. And the founders knew that. They were smart enough to know you can't legislate the behavior of people. They tried it with alcohol, remember prohibition? And they have laws against murder. Does anybody murder anybody? How about rape? How about robbery? How about drugs? You can't legislate the behavior of people. And according to the law, you can't. Can't, shouldn't, don't. I don't know how you want to put it, but you shouldn't. Because there's no way to do it.
Right.
Now, that's what it says. And the reason I'm doing this conspiracy thing is there's no conspiracy here. People's belief system say, well, we've been doing that for years. You certainly have. And I'm with you. I pay traffic tickets, which are unconstitutional. But I did it because I didn't know any better. Does ignorance excuse what's happening? No. The law is what it says it is, not what you want it to be. Or we got anarchy. Welcome, Seattle. Now we can touch on 41.
Article 41, part second.
Yeah, that was very specific to me because I wanted to put in there, if you look at the powers of the governor, nowhere will you find in there that it says the governor has the authority to shut down every restaurant in the state, to shut down every school in the state, to shut down all the malls in the state. Nowhere does it say it, not just in there, but in the entire state constitution, okay? The governor, or rather, let me be specific, the legislature can say the governor has the authority to shut down the state. He does. If you know that the state means the government, and not me and you, not our private business. Now, if you're selling poison that's killing people, they can shut down your business because you're killing people. That's common sense.
Which is against the law.
Right, but you can't go shut every business down and say, well, these people might do it too.
Right.
Really?
Because that's might, and that's speculation.
Well, that's what they did when they did it with the COVID-19 or the stupid-ass virus.
Right.
It's like there's a virus in every restaurant, and if you go in and eat, you're going to get it. I mean, how stupid can that be?
Exactly.
The average age of the people dying from COVID-19 is 82 in New England. 82. Now, wouldn't you say, well, let's put our money into helping the elderly in nursing homes, assisted living, or even people who are living at home that are elderly. I had a lady that was 91 living across the hall from me. Those are the types of people that need the help, obviously. Why do you shut everything down? Well, let me see. Does it have anything to do with what's going on in Seattle? Can Donald Trump, for those of you who hate Mr. Trump, can he shut down 2/3 of the world's economy and businesses? Because that's what happened. Trust me, it was the international banking community and the, I don't know, deep state, Illuminati, whatever, organized crime is what I call it. That's what's happening and has happened. And it's going to continue to happen. September, October, you didn't wear your mask. The disease is coming back to get you. And they're going to close everything else down and make your life miserable because you don't have the wherewithal to sit and say, okay, I'm going to check out Dr. Andrew Kaufman. I'm going to listen to Dr. Rashad Buttar. I'm going to look into Dr. Shiva Ayadure. And the last one is, she worked with Fauci, Dr. Fauci, okay? Judy Mikovits, I should say it correctly. Check out those people and what they have to say. These people are in the private sector, not the government, unless you want to listen to what the government's telling you, because that's how to be free in the land of the free and the home of the scared. That's how to be free. Listen to what the state tells you if you want to be free.
And I'm sorry, can I please add that it's also been proven and in all these reports that I have personally read in the
mask you're talking about?
The COVID-19, the research that we've done, it's not a virus, it's a bacteria. So,
well, even if it is a virus, though, because it's...
But it's not.
No, I agree with you.
It's not.
They've determined that it's a bacteria.
Yeah. All the reports came back. It's not a virus. It's a bacteria. So if you get it, take your antibiotic and go home. Stop.
Well, that's what they tell you to do. Go home and quarantine yourself for 2 weeks. Most people, from what they say now...
And 24 hours. An antibiotic is good after 24 hours, so you don't even need to quarantine yourself more than 24 hours.
Yeah, but just as a disclaimer, consult with your doctor. We're not doctors, so I'm not trying to say
but I did
you
work
should do
in the
this, that, and
medical
the other
field
thing.
for,
right.
20
yeah, and I'm not even
plus years.
I'm not even disputing that because you should. If you're sick, go home.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know what it is. Go home.
It's not a virus. And that came from medical reports in print from...
Yeah, but to me it's... And I agree with you, but it's semantics because it doesn't matter what you call it. It's not the deadly disease that they claimed it is.
Exactly.
And you're going to die from it. Most people who get it don't know they have it. That's how bad it is. Anyway, and this is their words, not mine. I'm not making this up. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not trying to mislead anybody. But you have to look at things from a perspective of, geez, I have half a brain. Let me see what's what, and I'll discern in my own mind what to do. Instead of, I gotta stay locked in my house. I gotta be afraid.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is that what you want? That's how you want to live your life in America? That's
seriously.
Free? I mean,
I'm just tired of the whole thing. I really am. I'm just tired of the whole thing. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of the whole thing. I'm tired of seeing people walking around with masks. And I have low immunity, and I haven't worn a mask except when I've had to walk into a hospital.
I don't and won't wear a mask.
I will not, except when I walk into a medical
I don't care who
facility.
likes it.
I don't care who likes it either. Get over it.
They've been saying, and this is why I just gave you the 4 names of the doctors, they've been saying that if you're breathing in a mask constantly all day,
you're killing your own.
You're impeding, or not impeding, I'm sorry, weakening your own immune system.
Bingo.
And when you're breathing out, the carbon dioxide that you're breathing out, some of it's staying in the mask, so you're rebreathing it. We are human beings, and our intent is to breathe in air, oxygen. Suck up the oxygen,
air.
Not carbon dioxide that's rebreathed. Right. And you're stressing your immune system.
Exactly.
But read it and find out. Just don't accept what you're being told. That's my only point. Don't do what I say. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not telling you.
Find out the facts.
But I've researched it, yes.
Yeah, I've posted so many facts on Facebook for these people, and just nobody wants to believe it. And I've just seen, so many people wearing masks. It's just so frustrating. It's frustrating for me. I'm tired of this whole BS.
Well, it's frustrating, but I won't say anything to anybody because I won't let people say anything to me about not having a mask on. So you want to wear a mask, but don't come up to me and tell me I gotta wear one.
No.
You know,
I'm
that's
just
all.
tired. I'm tired of the whole COVID thing.
Oh yeah.
Tired of the whole COVID thing.
What do we got this next anyway? Excuse me. this
Article
one?
41, Governor Supreme Executive Magistrate.
Oh, we just did that.
I thought you don't want me to read
Article
it?
41?
Yeah.
Oh, we had it up on the screen, so I think people had a chance
done with
to
that?
read it. Yeah.
CAFR accounts.
Yeah, the CAFR accounts, and this is where I want to, the CAFR accounts, Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. I had somebody on Facebook tell me, yeah, all it means is Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. Yes, that's what it means. I know that. I took bookkeeping in high school and accounting in college. I'm well aware of what it stands for. What I'm trying to tell you is, I don't care what state you live in the nation, type in this, the Texas CAFR, C period, A period, F period, R period. Type it in and watch what comes up. It's not your state budget. It's a separate account that the state has that you are not aware of. You're not aware of it because we're ignorant. I wasn't aware of it till about 6 or 7, 8 years ago. I don't remember when. And I found New Hampshire's. Actually, it was Dean at the time who found it on the show. And 3 years ago, Sununu put in $10 million in the set-aside fund. That's the CAFR account. They keep putting it in there, and now the next year, it's not reflected in the budget. It's forgotten about. Those accounts are audited. They are made available for us to see, but if you don't know about them, how can you possibly ask to see one? That's my whole point. So there's millions, actually trillions of dollars across the country in all 50 states with a T, I said it right, trillions of dollars in the CAFR accounts that we don't even know about. It doubles the amount of taxes they take in every year. They could stop taxes for the next 2 or 3 years and not have a problem at all. Do you know that? That's a conspiracy. It's not true. Nobody believes you when you tell them it. Look it up yourself.
Look it up.
Look it up yourself. I'm really like Wylene said, I'm kind of getting tired because I've done this, the CAFR accounts, and I've done this, all these other shows numerous times, and people go, he's crazy, the conspiracy nut. I'm trying to help people understand what's wrong with our country. It's being plagued by the people who want to control us and control it. And until we stand up and stop consenting to the garbage that's going on, this is just going to continue and we're going to lose our country.
Yep.
What do we have? I think we got 1 or 2 items left.
911 false flag with Ken O'Keefe.
Yeah, the reason I put that up there is, this thing should be going viral all over the world. 9/11 false flag with Ken O'Keefe. Once you watch this, and I've noted there's a few of his things in there that are not accurate, but 95% of what he said is totally accurate. You got to verify it on your own if you want, but if you want to find out something that's really going to piss you off, 3,000 people killed, and the people in your government know about it, they use the Israeli Mossad to do this job. I mean, does anybody care? Because we got people dying out in Seattle in our own country right now, 20 years later, 19 years later,
2 minutes.
And we lost 3,000 people in New York, and we didn't seem to give a damn. It was whatever they told us. Did you know that the medals, once they came down in the World Trade Center, were shipped over to China? We don't have scrap yards in America. We had to ship them to China. I wonder why that was. Could it be? Yeah. Could it be because they can't do any investigation once China has them? That have anything to do with it? Take a look at 9/11 false flag with Ken O'Keefe. You know, I'm really tired of being told I'm a conspiracy nut, conspiracy kook. If you want to find out what's wrong with America, watch this show over again and start looking up for yourself what is wrong. You're a debt slave to the international banking community who dominates the planet. It's real simple. They dominate the planet. They own all the resources. That's why Walmart, we covered this last week, Walmart was open because the Waltons own it, the 3 richest families in the United States. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Bill Gates, he loves you. He wants to vaccinate you. The hell does he have to do with a vaccine? He's not a doctor, but he wants to vaccinate everyone on planet Earth. Start waking up and understanding who your enemies and who your friends are. I am an American. I am for America. I am not for these cretins that are trying to take over. And I'll do everything in my power to stop them, including talking to you. I hope it works.
Amen.
I'm sorry, diarrhea of the mouth again.
No,
But thank
no.
you, Wylene, for coming on.
No,
I
my
appreciate your
pleasure,
help
Richie,
and your
anytime.
assistance. And thank you, people. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, hate us on Facebook. It doesn't matter. Do something. Do something on Facebook. Thank you for watching. God bless, and we'll see you later.